Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to our show. Hopefully, I don't spit my mint out on you. Where we talk about our successful actions in life and business to help you increase your personal and financial development. We're Martin and Chelsea Matthews, owners of M Wealth Group with a combined 25 or 27?
27.
20-something years of
Loses track of
experience combined. Yes, I'm getting up there in age, so, I'm forgetting those things. Anyways, we help our clients with our financial services agency, and we're also authors of this book, Let's Fight About Money. So today we are talking about how to keep your financial plan on track. First of all, you got to have a financial plan to keep it on track.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about the importance of having a financial plan and how to keep it on track, how to assess, how to know if you're getting where you want to go, if you need to make adjustments, if you need to make changes, or if you're just like strolling right along, reaching all your goals and dreams, living your best life.
Yeah. So look, that filter is weird as hell.
Yeah, I know, and it God. Changes the eye color.
Yeah, my eye looks like a little weird vampire.
Yeah.
All right.
So like from Twilight. Is that what that movie is?
So look, it's. You got to have a plan for executing on things. So understanding that your plan's got to adjust. And the number one thing is I've always had a problem with the way finances were done in America because there's a lack of education around it. What?
You know what it is it's on you today now and not me. Yesterday, that's why you didn't look different. It was on me and it wasn't on you. Now it makes your eyes blue.
Yeah, all right.
You look like a movie star.
Very awesome.
Anyway, sorry.
So look, you want to have a game plan for anything you're doing, and whether that plan changes or not. Like when people go to boxers, they generally have some sort of game plan, right? Some way they're going to operate. And what happened is everybody would try to figure out Floyd Mayweather's game plan, and they wouldn't be able to figure it out. And so he had he could pivot, he could do lots of different things, but he always had a general game plan.
His game plan is don't get hit in the pretty face.
Don't get hit in the face, man. So, and then Mike Tyson game plan was just to bring it to you and just smash the hell out of you. So,
by whatever means necessary.
So understand, whatever you're doing, the more you have a plan, here's what a plan does for somebody. Just any plan in life in general. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to execute. This is what we're going to get done. A fitness plan, a plan for your wealth, game plan for in different areas. What it helps you to do is to focus. So you've got your attention units, right? When your attention is so dispersed, you're thinking about so many bunch of different things, you're not as focused. But when you're focused on this is my game plan. So each day in our company, we have a battle plan. We have a company battle plan for the week. Everybody has a daily battle plan. What does that do? It keeps everybody focused on the main tasks that they need to execute. And then each day we look at, hey, at the end of our day, we do a wrap-up meeting. We do a quick morning meeting, and then we do a wrap-up meeting. In our quick wrap-up meeting, we discuss what of the battle plan was done, what was produced. Everything is production-focused. Did you produce something, or what did you not produce anything? So if you not produce anything, you wouldn't last year because that's not tolerated. So understand the same thing with your game plan and your finances. What has been produced? What did you produce? What did you set out to do, and did you do it? And if you didn't do it, what do you need to change or adjust? That's what we're talking about today, how to keep your financial plan on track.
Yeah, so here's an example. Just last night, we talked about working with our trainer. She creates workouts for us. We have targets. We have ways to assess how we are doing. So there's an app. We keep track of our measurements, our weight, all of the stuff, the things that we eat. And right now, there's an additional challenge. So there's always things that she's adding to make a challenge, make it fun, give us targets. So there's a walking challenge of like how many steps you do. And especially, being in an office, a lot of times sitting down, it's important to get up and be active, move your body, move your blood circulation, get your muscles going. And so I had set a goal of a certain number of steps, a certain number of days. So it's 6,000 steps, 5 days a week. That way, whether I'm working out or not, I can still have a doable target throughout the day, getting up and walking. And so last night, we usually go for a walk in the evening. And last night I looked at my number of steps because I'm tracking how my progress, I'm tracking what I'm doing daily. And I was like 1,500 steps short. And we usually go for like a short walk, you know, in the evening, just a little, you know, relaxing. And so I'm like, oh crap, I got 1,500 steps to do. So I had to pick up the pace. I had to do a few more laps around the neighborhood. And then I exceeded my target. And I could see right there how important, for one, having a target is, because if I didn't have a number of steps in mind, I wouldn't have any reason to do more. And then for two, I could see what my target was and that I was coming up short. So then I was like, oh, I got to walk a little faster. I got to do some more steps. And then I hit my target. And so it's important, for one, to have a financial game plan to even know what you're aiming for. If you're just like, oh, I want to do well, I want to be comfortable, or, you know, whatever the general things that people say are. And here's something that we hear too from people. You know, I have these things I want to accomplish. I want to be financially free. I want to have financial independence. But each year I feel like I'm just staying the same. Like it's not happening. And so, okay, well, what does that tell you? You need to have a specific game plan to know what specific steps to do when. And then you need to be able to assess. You need an expert. You need somebody to help you hold yourself accountable to know, am I doing the right steps and are they getting me the right targets? So that if something's not working, you have somebody to, you know, talk through that has experience in this area. So for example, in our business, we have a financial monitoring tool where we can look at all of your financial areas, help you put together a game plan of what is your financial goals and targets, and then how are we going to attack that plan of action? How are we going to get you to your targets? And then you have specific actions and you could see, am I doing these actions or not? And if you're doing the actions and you're not getting the results, then okay, well, let's like look and see what needs to be adjusted or what needs to be changed to be able to reach those targets and goals.
So if you don't have a target, guess what you'll hit? You will hit the zero target. You will hit nothing.
Ooh, did I just do an Illuminati symbol?
I guess so.
People are gonna say
you will hit the zero target. So always have some sort of target. Even if everybody was like, you need to think bigger, dream big, think big, all the shit people say.
Do big, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. But the reality
That's what I say to myself.
The reality is you gotta have, what is that? What is big? What's big for one person is not the same for another person. Okay. True. So you got to understand what is big. You got to measure something, have targets for it. And that's one of the simplest things we do for people. For example, if you're like, I want to buy real estate. Okay. What is your real estate target? What type of real estate? How many doors? What's your target rate of return? Over what period of time? How much capital do you need? How long do you want to put the capital to work for? These are basic questions that you need to be able to answer. And if you can't answer the questions, it means you're not yet prepared to take those steps because you're missing steps. When you skip steps, you're going to trip. When you trip, you fall. When you fall, you don't feel like moving forward anymore. You got to get back up and start the whole thing over. So don't trip. When you have plans, it's hard for you to trip on stuff. So when you start narrowing things down, you're like, okay, my target is real estate in this area, this type of real estate, this target rate of return. Those are the things we help our clients figure out. One of the first thing is we help them figure out what is the target. What are we aiming for? What are we going for? We opened this new office here 2 years ago, and we're like, this is the target. This is the cash flow target. This is the target for this. Everything has a target. If you don't target stuff, you can't monitor how well you're doing. One of the biggest things is that people do not have an income target. They don't have a net worth target. You don't have a net worth target. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. That is your net worth. Means you have enough more assets that can handle all of your liabilities and you still have something left over. That is your net worth. And then you can look at, okay, I want to increase my net worth by 10%, 20% this year. So let's say you're worth $1 million. You know, let's say you got $1.2 million in assets and you got $250,000 worth of debt. Your net worth is $1 million. You're like, okay, I want to increase my net worth by 10% this year. What you start doing is now that's a target. Everybody's like, I want to make more money. You want to make, you know that if you made $1 more this year than last year, you technically made more money. You realize how stupid that is to just say, I want to make more money without having a target. Yeah, technically you made yourself right. You made $1 more this year than you did last year. You made more money. So you have targets. I want to increase my income by this much, my revenue by this much. Then you start working out, okay, what are the steps I need to do that? And then you start monitoring how well you're doing. So that's the things we do for our clients. Create the targets, create step-by-step plan, and then we monitor with the whole system on how well we're doing so that we can ensure, give ourselves the greatest chance possible to reach whatever targets that we have.
So one of the ways that we put this whole financial game plan together for our clients, using our financial monitoring tool, we give you get a scorecard. You get scores in 12 different areas of your finances. And so you can see exactly where you stand in all of these areas. So for example, you could see what your burn rate is. Have you ever thought about what your burn rate is or what that is? So basically all the cash, all the liquid assets that you have available, if you couldn't work or something happened to your income, how long could you financially survive? That's a very important thing to know. So you get your score on how long would your money last if you had to live on what you have right now today. So that's one of the scores. There's also an insurance rate. We talk a lot about life insurance. It is the cheapest way to ensure your financial survival. If anything happens to you or any other income producers in your family or your business, if something happens unexpectedly, and usually we think of people using life insurance when somebody dies, but if somebody gets hurt or sick and it impacts their ability to make money. Also, the ability to build and grow wealth, generational wealth, that you can use these assets to increase your net worth with other cash flowing investments. So you get a score on, are you properly covered? Do you have the right types and right amounts of insurance? Another scorecard that we look at is your savings rate. So are you saving enough to be able to hit your targets, to be able to have a big enough burn rate that you are financially protected, you are financially strong, you're financially unbreakable? So we look at, are you saving enough? Some people, they have a lot more money coming in than going out, but they're spending it. Yeah. So if you have a lot of money coming in, but you don't really know where it's going and you're not really saving, you're putting yourself at financial risk. You think that you're doing okay because you have enough money coming in, you have extra, you're living it up, you're doing well. But what if that money stops? What if you got hurt or sick? What if something happened that affected that money coming in? When the pandemic hit, a lot of people who were making a lot of money were destitute because they had no reserves, no burn rate, nothing. So we look at all these different areas that you may not even be aware of that you could be at risk. You get a score, and then we look at, okay, these are the areas you're doing really strong in. Great, let's strengthen those even more. These are the areas you're at risk. Let's handle these right now. Yeah. So you know exactly what to look at in what order for your specific financial situation and your specific financial goals.
Yeah, you can even look at your tax rate. Are you overpaying your taxes? Which a lot of people are, because most people do not know all of the tax incentives that are available for them and to take advantage of those. So you can do that. The tax code is available to everybody. Anybody can use it. As long as they have stipulations, say, okay, well, if you meet these criteria, you qualify for this deduction, you qualify for this tax credit, you qualify for these things. The problem is the tax code, supporting documents, everything's over 70,000 pages long. So the average person is never going to go read the tax code. Most people have never gone to the IRS website. So people become afraid of the IRS, but in reality, most of the tax code tells you how to not pay taxes, because they've been lobbied for by people who wanted that incentive. So they went and lobbied for it. But when people lobby for certain things in the tax code, anybody can use it and benefit from it. So the only difference is you may not have access to that information, or you may not be thinking about it. You may not be working with people who can do that. But if you don't have a game plan, like what's my game plan on reducing my taxes? You realize that most people just wing it. They have no game plan. There's no strategy. They just kind of hoping this shit all works out. But that's never a way to build wealth. Wealth is never built accidentally. If you want to see how true that is, look at anybody who accidentally got rich. You won the lottery. So you win the lottery, what happens a few years later? They accidentally got rich. They were not prepared for that shit at all. So they win, and guess what happens? They give up the money. They end up giving it back. because they were not even prepared for it. So even though people say they want a lot of money, when they get the money and they accidentally get it versus being able to be prepared to handle it, they give the money right back because they don't even feel worthy of having the shit. They're like, dude, I don't even think I should have this kind of money. And they give the shit back. So there's you can just examine this. When people just get a tremendous amount of money, either through an inheritance they weren't prepared for, even our kid, he's not going to receive all of his inheritance all at once. It's all going to be strategically rolled out. And sometimes if he wants access to some of it, he's going to have to match. We're very big on matching. So right now he wants to buy a car. We're like, we're not going to buy you no car. If you want a car, you save up this amount of money, we'll match you what you save. And then you can buy a car that way. So, I mean, it's nice people give their kids cars and shit, but I'm not going to do that. So you understand, it's about matching him. He wants access to funds in his trust. He's going to come up with his own money and then we can match him. So you see, you got to start implementing these kinds of things and strategies in your own life. And that's how you start knowing all the different pieces that you can do. But like I said, people overpay their taxes because they have no game plan and they're not focused on a strategic way to minimize and reduce the taxable burden, strategic ways to increase their revenue, strategic ways to deploy their capital to work, strategic ways to leverage their credit to go and create assets. All these different things, they don't have a game plan for it. And that's some of the things we help people to do.
You have to prepare yourself mentally and through your discipline and your habits with money in order to receive more, in order to handle more, in order to build on what you already have. And so it's important with this financial plan that first of all, you know where you are, you know where you're going, and then you're putting in the discipline step by step. Because how many times have you tried to go on a diet or a workout plan, or in the case when Martin was talking about somebody receives a large sum of money and they don't know how to handle it and they end up losing it. Or you go on a diet and you lose all the weight, but you did not change your habits. You just did a short period of time of something that made some quick results. You got rich quick, you got thin quick, and then you got fat, and then you got broke. So it's about putting in the right actions over time and building that discipline and building those habits so that you know how to handle things. Not because you listened to what somebody said and you don't know why you did it. Not because you could do it for one day or 1 week and then you went back to your old habits. So it's important to have somebody in your corner, have a team who can guide you to increase your own knowledge so you can take more responsibility and have more control in your life and your finances and your business if you have a business. And then it's important to be keeping your information up to date. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at your weight from last year and basing your fitness plan on that, well, what kind of results is that going to get? It may not even apply. Yeah. If you are listening to somebody's financial plan and they have a totally different financial circumstance or totally different financial goals, that's not going to do you any good. Or you're based on what your business was doing 5 years ago or what you want it to do next year. You have to look at where you are now with current, accurate, factual data so that you can have a game plan that's going to work for you. So another thing in our financial monitoring tool is that actually you can link everything, all your assets, all your information so that it's right there and it updates current. So you can see what's going on in my actual financial picture, my actual financial house now. And you get progress reports where we go over, you can actually see your whole financial picture in one page. Have you ever seen your whole financial picture in one page? And then you can see stats. You could see the trend of your net worth growing or going lower. You could see your savings going higher or going lower. You could see all of these things and what's happening so that you're basing your actions and your plans off of actual current information.
Yeah. And there's the reality is the way financial planning, it's not really financial planning the way it's really being done with people these days, where the most financial advisors, quote unquote, don't actually have the time. What's up, Nick the Prince? Appreciate that. They don't actually have the time to continue to service you ongoing or keep track of your stuff or where things are at. So people only link up, they get with their advisor once a year or once every 2 years. And then you guys go over some stuff and you're like, yeah, everything looks fine. Okay, good, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. They ask you for some basic updates and then that's it. But throughout the year, you had changes happening. You had all kinds of different things happen throughout the year that they were not aware of. So most of the time, the advice you get is not necessarily the most accurate advice or the most applicable to you because they're not necessarily looking at your picture currently. So one of the things we always do is like, let's look at your current picture. Because a lot of times people will have questions. Nobody just wakes up like saying, hey, I want to just have a whole financial plan. They have to start having questions. The question would be like, hey, I want to do this transaction. I want to do this type of real estate. I want to get into this. Where do I start? It starts with different questions like that. They're like, hey, I've got this retirement account. What should I do with it? I'm thinking about selling this property and buying a new property. What's the best way I should structure it? It starts with questions like that. So when you start asking those questions, the answers you get will not be based on your actual position. So we get asked questions all the time. A lot of time when you ask questions, the person doesn't know your full financial picture. So they give you their best guess, but they're not looking at all the different variables. They're not looking at, oh, you have this other asset over here that we could have leveraged to do this transaction. But because I didn't know that asset was over there, I didn't give you that suggestion. You see, so when somebody's not looking at your whole picture or you don't have your assets up to date, you don't know where you stand with things, you don't know what's available, you can miss out on doing things the best way. There's not only one way to do something. You can always try to figure out what's the best way to do something, but the only way to know for sure is by looking at, hey, what are all the angles? What are the best way based on my current situation for me to solve this particular problem? And then you go about doing that. And the way everybody else is doing it doesn't have to be the way you do it. Why do you want the same shit everybody else got? Shouldn't your plan be specific to you and your goals and your objectives? I mean, when you're making your dreams, when you're thinking about your dreams in life, the things you want to achieve, do you go consult 50 different people and say, hey man, what's your dream? What's your dream? What's your dream? And then you comment like, I think I should take some piece of this guy's dream, this other guy's dream, because that ain't you. That's a bunch of those other people. So when it comes to your money, why do you think it needs to be like you are following everybody else that may not even line up with your dreams and your goals and your objectives? It's got to be specific to you. And the only way something's specific to you is if all your financial info is up to date so you can make real-time decisions that impact you right then.
So if this is something that you would like help with, creating your financial plan, making sure, having certainty that you are on track to reaching your goals in life and business, in your financial house, making an unbreakable financial house in life and business, then you can check out our Wealth Kickstart program. And you can go to 6buildingblocks.com/kickstart, 6buildingblocks.com/kickstart, and you could see how we can help you to do that, to create certainty in all areas of your finances.
Yeah, and that's the thing you want us pinning that comment.
Oh, nice.
That's the thing you want to have is you want to have
You're
certainty.
welcome.
Somebody says, thanks for the great content. If you guys like our content, share with other people. We post a lot on social media, all of our YouTube, different things to enlighten you about things we've done, things we are doing, and things we're continuing to expand. So for one of the difference with us is Chelsea and I are a licensed financial professional. Right? Chelsea and I are licensed financial professionals.
Mela, can you post the link in my Instagram? I don't know if I missed it.
Yeah, so what that means is,
pin
and then you can screen capture it once it's pinned, because otherwise all the comments disappear when you end the live stream. So one of the things that that we look at, especially with when it comes down to your finances and everything, is you want to deal with people who are licensed.
On my Instagram.
So here's why that's important. It's important because somebody who's licensed means they're regulated by some entity, some board, some group, whatever it is. So when you start dealing with people who are licensed, it means other authorities are regulating what they do and what they say. So if they do something wrong, there's regulations in place that would negatively impact that person.
So while she's putting it in there, it keeps going on Martin's page, not on mine though. It's 6buildingblocks.com/kickstart with the number 6. And I'll put it in there after, but once we end the live, all the comments and everything disappear.
Just screen capture that one. So you can-
I don't know if I can screen capture it while I'm live.
All right. So anyway, the main thing over here is our purpose is to help. Our goal and purpose is to help. We wake up every day thinking about who can we help today? How can we help more people? What are some of the key things we want to be able to do to help people improve their lives, no matter where they are? Because there's different people at different economic levels, and no matter where they are, there's things we can do to help them because different people have different problems. You did in Los
Because
Angeles.
it's pinned, so it keeps showing on yours. I keep thinking that it's getting posted there.
She has to log in as mine and go to your page.
Yeah.
So, are we in Los Angeles? Yeah, we do a lot of business in California. Chelsea and I used to live in San Diego. Chelsea's from Northern California, so we have a lot of clients there who do business.
We're in Georgia, but we have clients all over the country.
Yeah, so we do business all across. We can do business even in Canada. There's different things. We're licensed in 49 states. We just don't have one. We don't have clients in one state, so we just haven't had to get licensed there. But
Hey Camilla, is it not posting on my page?
so Camilla can come out here and do that. Otherwise, that
Yeah.
interrupts the flow here. So look, guys, if you guys have any questions on this subject, on this topic, send us a message, send us a DM. We'll be happy to help you and help you figure out where you are, what you're trying to do, and actual measurable steps that you can take to be able to do that and reach the goals and results and objectives that you have.
All right, see you tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow we will be talking about the journey towards financial freedom. And we're going to share with you a little bit about our personal stories of what led us to the financial industry, why we're so passionate about helping people and businesses build an unbreakable financial house in life and business, and some steps that you can take to increase and accelerate your journey towards financial freedom. So we'll see you guys there tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Thanks, guys.